So the new Tacoma, the 2024 Toyota Tacoma, has got right about 1,000 miles on it or so, just a little bit less. So it's time to take a look under the hood at the fluids. What should you check? And this is really the bare minimum, the stuff that you can do at home that you don't need to pay somebody to look at. So we're gonna pop the hood and have a look. But before I do that, there's a couple of things I wanted to take a look at on the front of the truck. First of all, of course, the new painted badge or emblem. This thing may be the best one that I've ever done. It's holding up really well. No real issues on it whatsoever that I can see. No bubbles, imperfections. I usually have at least one or two. And the color match to the paint is spot on. Really came out well. I'm very happy with it. Next up, I've had a few questions about paint protection. You know, paint protection is something I typically never go with because I figure just putting a coat of wax on is good enough. However, my truck does have the front end paint protection, the film on it. Now, it's not because I wanted it. When the truck was coming in, that was one of those things that they kind of add afterwards, right? And I told the dealer, I don't want it, I'm not paying for it. It came on the truck anyway. They went ahead and put it on. I did not pay for it. But what does it cover? Well, to my surprise, it is pretty comprehensive and it really blends in pretty well. You really can't even see it unless you're looking for seams. And I'm not sure if any of this will even show up on camera, but there is a seam right here where it goes across the front part of the hood. And it is pretty darn high up in the air. It's actually right down here. I was looking at, I don't know, something else. No, it is up here. Interesting, because there's a seam down here as well. So that's kind of weird. I guess it kind of goes right from here across and then down to here. That's how it goes. That's why I feel a seam up here. Now, it is protected on the other parts of the front as well. At first I didn't think so because I couldn't see it. But after I took a flashlight and looked for seams and differences in the paint, I can see it. It actually covers all of this area all the way down, even up here across the grill. And they did such a good job here, you can't even tell. You can kind of feel it a little, but you can't see any seams or anything. And the only way I was able to tell was to kind of look in the corner right here, and I could actually see a little bit of the film. I know you can't see it on camera, but it's there. And then it goes on around, like I said, even down to the bottom, wrapping underneath. And then the fenders are covered as well. Really good job, very comprehensive. Should get some good protection, I guess, from rock chips or anything like that. Again, not something I would have done, but since it's there, what the heck, why not? So let's pop the hood, take a look under there. Okay, under the hood, and of course, I do have the red line tuning hood struts. Love those things. No longer have to screw with this stupid rod. Fortunately, it's at least over here on the side now, so it's not across the front, and it's pretty much out of the way. Might even afford a little protection to the brains of the truck right here. But anyway, let's take a look. First of all, just the general condition under here. It's a little dusty, not that big a deal. Of course, Toyota cheaped out, did not give us an engine cover. I'm not even sure how you would put an engine cover on that. There's so many wires and connections and things on top. It almost would need some studs coming up, I guess, that you could fasten the cover on, but we don't have that. So first thing I look at is the battery. Shouldn't be any issues over here, right? It's brand new. For corrosion and things like that, I do have a switch on here, so mine might look a little different than yours, but everything is just fine over there. Not even going to bother with the air filter because the truck only has about 1,000 miles on it, so not something I'm really concerned with. Checking the coolant, we'll come over here, and fortunately it's a lovely pink color. I'll call it reddish. Kind of matches the truck a little bit, right? It's fine. It's up here where it should be, no issues. And then over here, we've got some brake fluid. It's right up here at the edge, no issues there. If you're wondering, right over here is the windshield washer fluid. It is down a little bit. It looks like, I don't know, let's see if you guys can see inside there. right down in. You can't see any. I usually fill it up right to the bottom there. So we're going to top that off. And then of course we're going to check the engine oil. Before we get to that, let's go ahead and put a little bit of this coolant in. Hopefully I can do it without dumping it all over the garage. Fortunately, I don't have any animals. I guess that's antifreeze. I was going to say any animals that will be poisoned by it, but I don't have any animals now. So here we go. Let's see if I can actually get it in there without spilling it. I doubt it. Oh. Success. There we go. That's about as high as I'll fill it. You could fill it higher, I suppose, but what makes a difference? It's not that much. Make sure you got it fastened down there so you don't get anything inside. Now, we need to check the engine oil. Let's go ahead and grab a rag over here. Make sure that we have oil. I think I've checked it actually once since I got the truck, so it is a bit of a reach to get up in here, although you can do it from the side. I really couldn't do it from the front. I'd really be kind of hanging over, so unless you have really, really long arms, I don't know how you'd be able to do that. But let's go ahead and get this sucker out of here. And just sitting right now, it's kind of hard to see, about impossible to see. But I did drive the truck into the garage, so it's not going to be an accurate reading anyway. And let's go ahead, stick it back down in there. I always feel like I have to leave it sit for a minute. I don't know why. I mean, it's down in the oil. It's not like it's going to creep up or anything. So it should just be able to stick it in and pull it right back out, right? So let's do that. Try to keep it from scraping. And let's see if we have any oil in there. I hope so. And trying to judge, I think it looks, again, I don't know that you're going to be able to see this on camera, but it looks like it's about right here. They give you these two little dimples, if you will. It's supposed to be in between. It's on the higher end of middle, so I think it's good. Let's flip this around, see if we get a better view. We do, actually. Wow. When I do it that way, it actually shows the oil level, and you might be able to see this on camera, I don't know, but it shows the oil level up here. That would be overfilled. So let's check it one more time. You know, you're not supposed to, at least in the old days, you were never supposed to fill the oil above the mark, because it could then, I guess, bubble above the cams and stuff and cause problems. I don't know, but let's check it again. And looking on this same side, it's kind of hard to tell, really. You have a gap in between two areas here. I'm going to say that this is just junk on the inside of the tube, and the real level is about right there, because when I flip it around, I don't have all that oil up on the stick. Instead, I have a line about right here, and that is in between the dimples. So I'm going to go with that. I know there's a lot of people out there who would look at the other side and say, oh, it's way too high, you have a problem. I don't think I have a problem, so no issues for me. And make sure we get that back in there, get a little snap out of it. And that's really about it. There's really nothing else to check. And you can see this is going to end up being about I don't know, an 8-minute video, something like that. That's all it takes. So if you weren't making a video and you were doing this in your garage, I assume that you could do it in less than 8 minutes. So definitely well worth your time just to make sure everything's right. And if for no other reason, there's nothing more frustrating than being out on the road somewhere and you've got a bunch of crap all over your windshield, dust, pollen, dirt, mud, whatever it is. You go to hit that windshield wiper fluid and you're out. Especially in the winter time. If you're driving in an area that salts the roads and stuff, windshield washer fluid can be pretty darn important. Anyway, leave a comment, let me know. You guys ever check this kind of stuff, or do you just wait till you take it in for service, pay for it, and let them do it? I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.